Hello everyone, we are Group 55 and today we will talk about Euro strategies and the process involving. The members are Andre, Natalia, Jefferson, and Santiago, and me, Stefania Dan. And today I'm going to explain how to obtain and organize the information I use it to develop my course plan, English for Healthcare Professionals, corresponding to scenario D. To gather the initial information, I use it online form that I share by a link various history professional, including nursing students. The form contains basic questions to help with my identify the most common communication is history professional have with when using English and the real life situation in which they most need in it's, for example, speaking with foreign acquaintances and filling out reports or responding to emergencies. The level of English they consider necessary for the professional performance. And from this response, you can get a clearer picture of the context and language skill I show sure is it being designed the course. After collection data I categorize and analyze it in the main components of the plan. In the objects, I integrate the communicate and professional aspect of mentioned in the form, such as the need into improving listening comprehension and emphasis in medical care. In the methodology, I opted for a communicate text-based approach as in the old for functional and realistic English practice, simulation, hospital, or clinical situations. In the material section, I select authentic digital resource, choose videos, podcasts, real-life medical forms to offer experience closer to professional practice. I also organize the content into modules, following and progress sequence, from the introduction to medical vocabulary to intercultural communication of the final assessment. In short, the entire course strategy was about from the information obtained short of the forms, careful analysis, and then transform it into current teaching plan. The goal was design an useful, practical, and contextualized course that will enable employer professionals to improve their English and improving safer, more emphasis, and more effective medical care. Thank you for your time. Now my colleague Andre Guerrero will tell about his strategy.
Hello everyone. I will present the strategy for of creating the course English for tourism and hospitality, including all the necessary components and variables. Throughout the Google Forms, Superly was possible to know the level in English depending on the workers in area, and I also help to see if they can do the same words language, such as customer surveys or solving problem situation, complaints, requests, emergencies. The survey was made for workers or people who want to work in hotels, travel agencies, airlines, or while the tour guides. Guides. These people need to improve their speaking fluency in listening, comprehension, in the technical vocabulary of the tourist sector. The surveys showed me the need to improve their communication and problem solving skill in second language because they do know knowledge or vocabulary to be fluent. The strategy to improve these areas is by task-based learning. Each module includes practical tasks. These help students become familiar with real situations they will face in their jobs and gives them ability to solve different problems and offer their right solutions to clients. Uh, to include different modules in storage area, for example, restaurant, vocabulary, guide direction, and making hotel reservation, among others. Um, so role plays in simulation are use practical real situation from both the clients and working a point view and learn what actions and answer are need to give good surveys in English. Uh, Cooperative learning is done through pair and group where promotes cooperation and sharing between students who want to learn English for the specific purposes. They can share other. In conclusion, the course English for Tourists and Hospitality successfully integrates the communicative approach with task-based learning allows developing linguistic functional competence through a continuous interaction, replace or simulaciones actividad y to use English natural professional turismo hospitality context. Mm, Thank you.
Well, about my ESP course design strategy scenario A, English for professionals. I'm sharing my proposed ESP course design strategy based on scenario A, English for professionals ITP, which was development from the hypothetical data gathered in our needs analysis instrument. The main methodological approach is a combination of task-based learning, TBL, and content-based instruction, CBI. This quality is fundamental because the specific technical content of it what dictates a functional language and vocabulary that the profession naturally requires. Our specific objectives focus on two key deficits, reducing the anxiety and improving oral influence in high pressure contexts, and developing the clarify and accuracy of writing documentation, back reports, author stories, to achieve these methodological strategies will be based on incentive simulation. First, technical for role playing. That means continuous practice in troubleshooting, use customer surveys language. Second, project-based learning PBL, a central project that culminates in the complete technical documentation of a software feature. The selection of materials will be maybe exclusive, authentic, so that using experts from API documentation, internal wikis, and real ticket and user story template that supplement with technical conference videos for listening comprehension. So furthermore, ICT will be essential as we will use simulated project management like platforms to ensure writing practice occurs in a realistic work environment. So I look forward to your valuable comments and suggestions about this work.
Good evening. My name is Natalia Calderon Aguilera. I choose the scenario C, business English for corporate employees. I obtain the information through a Google form. Uh, this form asks for general information about the students, such as their name, current English level, the actual communication needs in the workplace, and their goals and expectations for the course, and their learning preference and availability. The methodology I use is quite varied. The course is designed for A2 to B2 students using a communicative language teaching CLT approach and text-based learning CBL, integrating language use in real life work context. Um, Considering that the course is
for real life context, requiring a certain level of professionalism. The methodological strategies are as follows: integrated activities, like simultaneous practice of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Writing activities, writing emails, simulations like meeting calls, interviews, and presentations, collabor- collaborative learning, teamwork to solve business problems, and analysis for real life examples of corporate communication, and a constant feedback, real-time error correction, and formative assessment. Um, as a reflection, this exercise was quite interesting to complete because it allowed me and us to learn English for a specific purpose, in my case, business. And personally, I wasn't familiar with it, so it was quite interesting to learn English in a more elegant way. And it also was interesting to put into practice what I've learned as future teacher to develop resources with what is needed to acquire a second language uh, for a specific purpose.
Hello everyone, my name is Nixon Santiago Morales Diaz, a pre-service teacher and in this case curriculum designer focused on English for academic purpose. Today I'm sharing how I converted real data from our students into a ready to implement teaching strategy B2 to C1. The starting point was a Google form. I want to collect data in a single pass, obtaining the academic profile, skill needs, and brave performance evidence. Through his instrument, I gather information on the program and level of study, types of subjects, planning and selection by skills, and listening, reading, writing, speaking, and academic vocabulary. A competency versus important matrix for a university tasks, such as note-taking, articular reading, words, rhetorical and argumentative structure, paraphrasing and citation, AWL, presentations, and debates, as well as writing micro-diagnosing using heading, perception of oral skills, time management, available technological resource and motivation, especially those instrumental in admission and academic subjects. With the answer is how I exported everything and performed like Renault. So, standbys, scales, and fields. The priority objective, I apply a simple index to each skills that perceived relevance, the career goals, typically balancing and coaching, handling presentation with Q&A, and the systematic reinforcement of academic vocabulary, AWL. Based of this prioritization, I segment the cohort by disciplinary areas and by operational variables such as oral proficiency and technological access, so that the selection of material sequencing and type of classroom interaction reflect real profiles rather than assumptions. Based on this, I articulate the course strategy. I got it a clear little EAP, Academic English for Higher Education, B2 to C1, and set a general objective focus on understand university lectures, readings, and producing academic texts, easy and mini improv reports. A participation completely in seminars and debates in English speaking context. I developed specific measurable objectives covering effective note taking, critical reading with a rubric, expanding AWL, and disciplinary colloquies, working with relevant organizations and citations, academic integrity through paraphrasing and synthesis, oral communication with same spots, hedging, and question handling. Colleague participation and referencing and self-management of draft and peer feedback. The course structure was organized into short modules that follow the diagnostic priority and culminate in a success product. On the table, a several model of diagnostic and academic integrity, academic listening with note-taking using journal and outline, critical reading with rhetorical structure marking and implementation of PQ4R, lexical consolidation with AWL, subjects and collocations. Argumentative essay writing using MEOL, paragraphs and rhetorical cohesion, mini words with citation guidelines, academic oral presentations. Focuses on presentation with a defense and Q&A, and finally a Socratic seminar and portfolio closing. I each module the readings, mini lectures, energy models, and their segments. Reviews, essay, presentations, and reports are aligned with rubrics to ensure consistency between what we teach, what we practice, and what we access. In summary, the present-day EAP strategy is born from a rigorous assessment via Google Forms and is organized with vertical priority criteria that transforms data into teaching decisions. The proposal aligns objectives, model sequence, materials, objective assessments, interaction, academic barriers, TBLT, and the writing process with scheduling for autonomy. It also incorporates the cultural components and academic integrity standard for real for life context. What is coming, clear rubrics, authentic tasks. Coexists with what is different. Data traceability, a focus on AWL, oral communication with signposting and hiding of gray areas. The results are relevant, measurable, and ethically sound course for advancing from level 2 to level 1. As a closing method, it should be emphasized that as a whole, the aforementioned strategies share a common pedagogical framework, communicate and bias approach, the use of authentic and material simulations, role plays, and combine formative summative assessment with intercultural components. However, the different imports and summative assessments with level EAP B2 to C1 focuses on academic heritage and integrity, AWL, ESA, INRAD seminar, with Torrents and hospitality A2, B1. Priority customer service, reservation, and problem solving in shared settings. And healthcare A2, B1. Emphasis clinical interviews, instructions, reports, and professional empathy. Choose a common core of tasks and rubrics is adapted by domain, vocabulary, and products. Academic versus operational, ensuring relevance and transferability of the design, making each one very important and relevant. Thank you for your attention.